SpaceX has revealed advanced crew cabins as part of its Starship Human Landing System for NASA's
Ooh.
2026 Artemis III mission. Cabins are actually featuring some spacious layouts for improved astronaut mobility functionality. They've got high-tech sleeping quarters designed for optimal rest and recovery, which is really going to support that physical and mental health on long missions. But then advanced and enhanced life support systems are ensuring continuous air, water, and resource supply, really prepping astronauts for week-long stays on the lunar surface. Now, Artemis 3 is actually going to mark humanity's return to the moon's surface for the first time ever, I mean, in 50 years, with a focus on the lunar South Pole.
Real challenge on this one for me is balancing that whole luxury with the brutal laws of physics and the brutal laws of budgets as well. Building a spacious, comfortable cabin is one thing, but keeping them light enough for liftoff without needing extra rocket boosters is a whole different thing. So add in making sure that all of those things are then enhanced designs and don't compromise safety. And you've got the recipe of, you've got a whole bunch of engineers having a real tug of war over this one.
Yeah.
You know, at first we had Doge to the moon. Now we've got Artemis 3 to the moon. But making comfy living spaces seems to really be the first step to making space travel more popular and even more commonplace. Maybe this is the new mobile home. The cost and weight and functionality and safety are all important here, you know, with that tug of war Andrew's talking about between the different designers and engineers as far as how do we get all this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, maybe even being able to manufacture these things at scale. Maybe we'll have, you know, what have they launched? 400 something rockets already. So, or not different ones, but there's some of those are reused. But, you know, maybe there's going to be a lot of these comfy things headed to the moon. But for now, I think the requirements is going to be my main focus, because you've got to be able to take what we're doing for the comfort and the requirements for comfort and make those work well with the requirements for weight and being able to actually fly.
I think SpaceX, I mean, they've done 400 launches, you just said.
404.
You compare that to Blue Origin, ULA, people like this. I mean, they're just a long way ahead, aren't they, in terms of experience? So again, I think they're being smart. I think they are going to set a new standard for crew comfort that other players are going to need to chase. But staying competitive means having a bulletproof requirements capture process. So I guess we have to agree if we must, but you know, every design tweak impacts the whole system. So one luxurious feature too many, and you're going to be looking at, you know, like an Apollo 13 sequel without the happy ending. So I mean, you've got to be careful.
Have you been on a movie watching binge? Because like the references to movies so far, we've only talked about 5 articles, and you've had at least one movie in each of them. I'm impressed.
It was my inspiration.
How do you set the new standard for crew comfort without knowing what those requirements of comfort are? And it's not just that, it's also being able to test things out, get feedback from the test results from people who will actually be in these things, and putting the feedback back into your design process. So we've got to have a way to take our requirements, our changes, feed those all back into our entire design process.
Yep. Yeah. Which is why the solution to this one is concept and requirements gathering right at the start of the critical thread, gathering those detailed requirements related to the ergonomics, the safety, the resource management for optimal crew, cabin design. That's the core solution for this one. And then bring your AI in to help you prioritize and cross-reference all of these requirements with astronaut feedback and mission needs for iterative improvements. So you've got concept, requirements gathering, start there, bring in your AI on the top of it, just speeds the whole thing up and improves accuracy.
You're even able to use those requirements to figure out like use AI to figure out what those requirements are too, because you can create a human model and kind of have the AI go through all the possible movements to make sure stuff works too. You can do a lot of stuff to even use AI to figure out those requirements and then use it to help make sure you've got all the cross references and data and everything you're talking about. So there's a lot of use case here.
Right.